Hello and welcome to the Tip of the Day. I'm Dr. Amy Starr with the Mesa Veterinary Clinic, Paws and Hooves Mobile Veterinary Services, and San Francisco Stables. And we're helping El Paso help their pets. So today we had a pet in and I placed it on Snapchat. And basically it's a pet that has some hair loss and we're worried about some hormonal issues. So I thought I would talk about hormonal issues in general today as our tip. And basically there's lots of different things that we can see that are related to hormones. The hormones work in our bodies to regulate lots of different functions. They regulate our immune system and they regulate our hair growth and our skin condition and our metabolism and all sorts of things, just on and on and on. Obviously, we often think about hormones as the reproductive organs and hormones, but there are many, many, many more that basically control and regulate and monitor our lives. So the couple that we think about most often when we have issues are thyroid, and we see a lot of hypothyroidism in dogs and hyperthyroidism in cats. And when hyperthyroidism happens, hyper is where they tend to be skinny, they have heart murmurs, they're active and they eat a lot, but they're still extremely skinny and have weight loss. Hypothyroidism is more in dogs, and that's where they gain weight, they may have allergies, skin and ear problems or infections, they're overweight, they're lethargic, and they tend to kind of lay around a little bit more and search for areas that are warm that they can be in. Adrenals are another hormone issue that we get concerned about, and that regulates basically our internal steroids and the things that function as far as our immune system and the skin and the hair coat and things like that. So when we have hair loss or poor hair growth, and especially when it's related to skin and ear problems, but mainly right now we're just talking about the hair issues, that can be, and especially if they're drinking excessively and urinating excessively, that can be because of thyroid and adrenals. Drinking and urinating more can also be diabetes, but in this case it's related with the hair. So we want to do blood work, and as if you check on our Snapchat page, you'll see the dog itself and then some of the things I talk about there. But basically we got to check those hormones. Thyroid is pretty easy because we can run just a thyroid test, and that lets us know, where the levels are and if there's something that needs to be added to that. So if they need to be on thyroid supplements or things like that. And basically it's very easy to diagnose and it's pretty easy to treat and very inexpensive usually. Adrenal issues are a little bit more difficult as that doesn't have a very specific test. There's not one test that we can do that tells us everything that we need to know. So usually what we do is we run a full panel, which would include the thyroid. It also includes the organ function, the blood count. A lot of times it includes a urinalysis, a fecal and heartworm test. And by doing that, we have markers that let us know if there's something awry or amiss that might be pointing towards an adrenal issue. It also lets us know if there's any problems with the thyroid that we can check off real quick. If it does show us that there might be issues with the adrenals, then we go ahead and we run another test. And there's a couple different tests that we can choose, but basically they both involve injecting a medication and then drawing blood afterwards to see how the body responds to that medication. That's a little bit more difficult and not quite as precise, but it still gives us a lot of information and allows us to place the pets on medication if they need to be on medication. And then obviously you do have your reproductive hormones that can cause issues, especially if they're not spayed or neutered, then we can see different problems because of those. But also sometimes if they are spayed, we can have problems where maybe their body isn't responding as well to not having the estrogen. So different things to think about. If you have any questions, if your pet has had some hair loss issues or isn't growing back the hair as well as it should be, definitely ask us, because there likely are issues and problems that we can monitor and manage. And if it just continues to go on, then it'll get worse and your pet can be uncomfortable, so we can help you with that. If you have any questions, please give us a call. Have a great day.